guys, I'm Morgan, and this is part 1 in a series we're doing called Yoga for Complete Beginners. Woohoo! Yes, so the verse I'd like us to be meditating on today in our practice is from Jeremiah. And it reminds me of a line from one of my favorite poets, Rumi. And his line says, what you seek is seeking you. And this is what Jeremiah says, and it's actually the Lord speaking through the prophet Jeremiah. The Lord says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Take a deep breath here and just listen to those words again. Close your eyes. You can have your palms open, just saying with your body, "I'm ready to receive something today. I'm ready to receive, and I'm open to hear from you, Lord." So again, Jeremiah 29:13. "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." And thinking about what Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. So this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whatever time it is where you are, you've made it to your mat, and just take a moment and reflect. Think about the thing that you came for. What are you seeking right now? If you're just beginning a yoga practice, maybe you're seeking just to be confident in the postures and to familiarize yourself with the postures and to feel more comfortable in your body. Well, this is the class for you. So in this class, we're going to break down 3 postures, including some may say, infamous downward dog, the one that you see in all over Instagram. Maybe you're not, you're friendly with downward dog. Maybe you like that pose, maybe you don't. We're going to break that one down so you feel more confident in it. We're really going to work with our alignment today. And I have my mat up against a wall because we're going to use the wall for support. So if you wanted to pause this video and take a moment to kind of arrange your room so that you can bring your mat up against the wall, you don't need a lot of space, just enough for the width of your mat. That'll be really helpful for us as we get going. So if you haven't warmed up yet, I encourage you to do the warm-up video. It's about 15 to 20 minutes, just something to kind of loosen you up a little bit, because we're going to jump right into breaking down the postures. So let's stand up. And gosh, I feel like awkward just kind of jumping in, but so maybe jog in place for a second. Woo, woo, shake it out. Bring your arms around, dance, smile. Just do something. Do something to get your body moving and grooving. Have fun with it. Loosen up. Shake it out. All right, here we go. So, downward dog. Downward dog is actually a phenomenal posture. It is awesome. It is going to be your friend. It's meant to be a reset. It's works so much of your whole body. It feels good once you get it. So we're going to work on getting it so you feel good in it too. We're going to use the wall to help us. So I want you to come to the wall, place your hands, and then walk so you're making an L shape. And you can kind of play around with this posture. Your hips are over your heels. Press away from the wall. Feel what that does to your spine when you press away from the wall. Tilt your tailbone back a little bit, like we do when we do cat and cow on the floor. Tilt your tail back a little bit, like in cow. Our goal is to lengthen the spine in downward dog and to honor the gentle curve of the lower back, but also support it. So we're going to bring in our whole lower torso, engaging our whole lower belly into the back body to support the spine. Our gaze is kind of down where the floor meets the wall, and just breathe here for a moment. Before you adjust, there's always more adjusting we can do, like little micro movements to kind of get more aligned, but before you rush into anything, just see where you're at, breathe, notice your breath, notice your connection to the earth beneath you. Bring awareness to your spine. How does your spine feel right now? And press in to the wall. Our knuckles are pressing into the wall, really connecting to the wall with your fingers so you can take a little pressure out of the wrist And when we're like this, we don't feel a lot of pressure in our wrists. But when we come down to our mats, we tend to kind of dump into our wrists, and that can be just too much for them. And then we get sore wrists, and no, we can avoid that. And if we just engage the whole palm of our hand, our fingers don't have to be spread too wide, but they're spread. Knuckles pressing into the wall, arms engaging. And also, notice your shoulders here. What are your shoulders doing? Can you create some space in between your ears and your shoulders? Take a deep breath here, and then let's walk out of it. Making these videos, I realize that sometimes I can hold us in postures for way too long, and there you are at home being like, okay, I'm still in this posture. Can we move out of it? So I'm getting used to like the flow of a video, because this is very different than teaching a live class. I usually kind of use my intuition to see what's needed and the pace of things. So I'm at the bottom of a very steep learning curve right now. And the fun fact to know about me is that this is the third time I've tried to do these foundational yoga videos. So there's been just been a long learning curve. You don't need to know about it. But here we are. Number 3, this is going to be the one, right? So coming back to downward dog, using the wall. This is what helps me. No matter what yoga posture I'm in, I try to think about my breath, my connection with the earth beneath me, and the length of my spine. No matter what posture I'm in, the goal generally is to extend and lengthen the spine, to create space in between the vertebrae. And the goal is always to pay attention to the breath, to never go too far from it, just to return to the breath, because the breath is our friend. The breath informs so much of our wellness and our well-being and our healing, and it has so many benefits. Even if all we did together was sit and breathe, that would count as an awesome yoga class in my book. But here we are, we're learning downward dog. Let's come back to the wall, remembering those 3 things: your breath, your connection to the earth beneath you, and your spine. So come into the wall, getting adjusted so you feel like your hips are over your heels, and I hope that my hips are over my heels so you're not confused. But listen to my words, maybe not always what I do. I don't think I do perfect yoga. This is not about perfection, but it's about being connected to your body and learning what it feels like to come into alignment. So we have a lot of grace for each other, and thank you for all the grace you have for me. So here at the wall, press into the wall to feel your arms engage, and you can feel length in the spine. Now come to your feet. First, actually, draw your belly in to make sure that you are supporting that lower back. Draw your belly in towards the spine. Now draw your awareness to the feet. Feel where the weight is. Place all 10 toes on the earth. Feel the heels connecting to your mat. Feel the outsides of your feet, and see if you can draw energy up from the outsides of your feet and pull it towards the midline of your body. Imagine you're pulling it towards an imaginary line running down between your legs. When you do this, can you feel how your legs engage? Like the muscles of your quadriceps lift away from your heels. And maybe as you spiral those legs out a bit, you feel the space open up in your pelvis. Your pelvis widens, and there's more room for your spine to grow long. So here is what we want to feel like when we bring our downward dog to the floor. Feel good? Okay. Walk your hands down. Step back, and let's start. I like starting downward dogs from tabletop and then bear. So we're in tabletop. Flip your toes, knees wide. Lift your knees off the floor. Lift your hips back, press them back, and so that your chest and your rib cage are resting on top of your thighs. Feet are wide, pressing your palms into the mat. Strong arms, remember. Lower belly lifting to support the low back. Sits bones lifting. And from here, maybe you walk your feet in towards one another. Keeping the length in the spine, pressing the hips back and up. Opening the heart, opening through the armpits. And then on an exhale, see if you can lower your heels to the floor. You can keep your knees bent too. Just go as far as you can go while still honoring that length you've created in your spine. Exhale down. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings and in the calves. Nice job. Inhale and come back. Whew. Shake it out. So, if you really want to work downward dog today, you can just rewind the video and keep doing that. Just do that for a little until you feel so confident. Oops, I just lost my timer thing. Till you feel super confident in downward dog. And also know that it's something that evolves with time. Like, if this is like really new to you, like the more you come to your mat, you'll start to click. Because there's a lot of information I'm throwing at you about how to connect to the earth, connect to your breath, connect to your spine. All of it's just like your mind's working overtime. But if you just keep coming to your mat, your body will start to learn this and it'll become more and more natural every single time. And suddenly you're in this beautiful downward dog, smiling, singing. You're like, what just happened? Who am I? You are who you were created to be. That's who. All right, let's move to the second posture we're going to workshop. Crescent lunge. So using the wall again, come to the wall, take a step forward with your left foot, walk your right toes back, and so your foot pad is lining up to the molding or where the wall meets the floor, and your heel is really pressing, like you want to press that wall down. Drive your heel into the wall behind you. Your arms can be at your hips here. Look at your front knee to make sure it's not dumping over your toes. Ideally, it should be moving towards 90 degrees and your knee should be heading over your second or third toes. And I can see my toes right now. If you can't see your toes, walk your foot out a little bit more. Okay, we're going to protect our knee joint here. So, crescent. You can feel our heel against the wall behind us. Now lift this thigh, your right thigh, away from the mat. Yeah, just like that. Now draw your lower belly away from your front thigh. Beautiful. Inhale here. This is crescent lunge. Doesn't that feel good? Feel the length in your spine from your tailbone, this gentle arch all the way up to the crown of your head and your fingertips. And let's run for the bottom. We can feel our heel pressing back, really engaging our leg, our thigh lifting away from the mat, our front foot placing strongly into the mat, heel grounding down, our belly drawing away from the front thigh, fingers lifting. Hallelujah, this feels good. And exhale, shake it out. And you don't have to be holding your breath. I hope you're not holding your breath the whole time. If I forget to tell you to breathe, and I will try my best to remind you to breathe because we all need that reminder, even me, don't forget to breathe. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So using the wall to support us, the wall is just like a helpful reminder of how to engage. When we're first learning this posture, we're learning so much about how and what to put our bodies in and like all these different shapes. And really the most important thing is how we're feeling in the body. So kind of disregard what you've seen on Instagram or Yoga Journal and go internally and just pay attention to how your body is feeling in each posture. So step it out, kind of awkwardly or gracefully, whatever you can muster up this morning. And drive your left heel now into the wall behind you. The foot pad of your left foot is kind of lining up with the molding behind you. Take a look, check in with your front foot. See that your knee is not too far over your front foot, that your knee is aligning over your second or third toe. You can see your toes. It's all good there. And building the posture from the ground up, feel that your back heel is pressing into the wall behind you. Now move your awareness to your thigh and feel your thigh lift away from the mat. Inhale and draw your belly button right here, the lower belly, into the spine to create even more length in the spine. Inhale all the way up. Majestic crescent lunge. Exhale down. Let's do that again. Engaging through the legs, pressing down with the front heel. All of your toes are pressing into the mat. Just not too hard, but they're stabilizing you. Draw your belly button into your spine. You can feel the left hip point in particular, kind of pressing forward to square the hips to the front of the mat. Inhale with your arms. Reach with the fingertips and exhale. Nice work. And shake it out. Feels good. I like to mix a little bit of dance into my yoga. All times. Always be dancing. And before we move on to the third posture we're going to workshop, Warrior One, let's go back to our meditation. Have you lost your intention for why you're here? Has your mind wandered in a million different directions? It has. All of ours has. But that's okay, because the practice is just by bringing it back. We always just come back to the intention, come back to the breath, come back to being here now, being present. And the meditation we're working with today is from Jeremiah, and it's, you will seek me and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart. And I find that to be a great reminder just to show up no matter what I'm doing, to show up with my whole being, to show up with as much of me as I can bring to the table, and to allow my whole heart to also be seeking what I want. I think so often, and don't let me go on a tangent here, but so often we can want something, but we're really reserved about how much of ourselves we bring into that desire. So God is reminding us that He is there, He's all around us, He's present, and we will find Him, we will find what we're looking for when we seek Him with our whole heart. Because He is absolutely seeking us, just like the poet Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. So if it's God on our mat today, if it's a new relationship with your body, if it's more fun in your life, that thing is seeking you. And the more of you can bring to that desire, that seeking, the more you're likely to find it. And you will find it. Okay, enough of that. I could go on, but I won't. We're going to go to Warrior One. Warrior One. This is a posture that's fantastic. Makes you feel so strong and capable and confident. I recommend if you're feeling down, if you're feeling self-doubt, that you stay 2 minutes in this posture. So we're going to work Warrior One by first coming back into Crescent, right foot forward. Did we just do this one? Let's do it. Other side. So right foot back, heel driving into the wall, reminding ourselves what it feels like to be engaged. Our hips are square. So this is Crescent. We're going to start with Crescent. And with our abs drawing into our lower back to support, pulling away, everything about this is going to stay the same except for our back leg is going to shift. So front leg stays the same. We can see our toes. My knee's heading over my second or third toe. It's tracking. My hips are squaring to the front mat. And now I'm going to spin my back foot so that my heel is making contact with the wall behind me. My toes are 45 degrees away at an angle from the wall. And I'm driving my heel into the wall. And it's going to be more challenging to keep your hips square to the front of their mat, but that's the goal here. So the goal is square hips, and that alone feel kind of like, oh yeah, that's not so easy. So try to rotate with your ribs, the whole torso towards the front of your mat. Inhale, your arms come up. Really engage, making contact with your heel behind you. That's your anchor. Let your heel, the back heel, be your anchor. Stay connected. Imagine there's a line, a tension rod from your tailbone to your heel. So your tailbone is reaching down towards you here to lengthen your spine. And then stay here for a minute or two, or 10 seconds. And smile. Keeping in mind whatever you're seeking, knowing that it's right here in this place. And come out of it. Exhale. Whew. And shake it out. Do your jig. Whatever you have inside of you today to do. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And we're going to switch sides. So, again, we're going to start our Warrior One in Crescent, from Crescent. So, step into your pose awkwardly to line yourself up. Yoga is not always graceful. We can just be ourselves on our mat. You are totally free to be wild and crazy and a mess on your mat. And then breathe, and all of a sudden you'll notice that there's this grace from out of nowhere is appearing. It happens when we come into our breath. So from Warrior One, shift your back heel down and allow your toes to come at a 45-degree angle away from the wall. Check your front knee, making sure it's bending towards 90 degrees. Knee is tracking over that second or third toe. I can see all my toes here. Back leg is engaged. The back thigh is still lifting away from the floor. And draw your right hip point now backwards to try to square your hips to the front of the mat. Feel that. It's a twist. Don't you feel that? So with your whole torso, your rib cage, just see if you can square to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms come up. Smile brightly. Know that it's a great day. It's a good day to have a good day. Don't you say? Draw your belly button away from your thigh. Hang out here. And exhale, come out of it. All right. So we're going to run through those 3 postures away from the wall. We're going to keep 3 things in mind. Our breath. Are we breathing first and foremost? Keep breathing. Our connection to the earth beneath us. No matter what is connecting. Oh, that's my timer. Okay, we're almost done. I set a timer because I tend to go on tangents, and so these classes can turn into like 2-hour things. So my timer is helping me kind of package it all in there. But I'm going to go a little bit longer because I want us to run through these 3 postures away from the wall, remembering what it felt like to be engaged with the wall. So breath, connection to the earth beneath us, and the length of our spine. So we can move our mat away. Let's come into tabletop, lifting our knees away from the mat. Press back, press the hips, lift them up high. Walk the feet together. On an exhale, lower the heels towards your mat as far as they can go while keeping that spine nice and long and lengthened. Downward dog. Take a breath in here. Press through the palms. Lengthen through the sides of the body. Exhale. Smile. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Come onto your fingertips. Lift your lower belly away from your thighs. Imagine that wall is behind you and you're pressing your heel into it. You're lifting your back thigh away, and then the arms come up. This is crescent. Nice job. Exhale, hands down on either side. Gently lift the foot and place it back into plank. There you go. This is a good workout too for the core. And switch it with the left leg. So the left knee comes up. Place it in between your palms. And hey, this is hard. You can be as awkward as you want to. Just get your left leg up here. And don't be discouraged if it doesn't come easy the first time. Just keep on showing up and just get your left leg between your hands, however you need to do it. Lift your back leg. Engage those muscles. Imagine the wall is behind you. Draw your lower belly into the back. Press the right hip point forward. Inhale. Crescent on the left. Beautiful job. Exhale, hands come down. This time we're going to press it all the way back to downward dog. Or if you've had it, if you're just done, you can take child's pose. Always, right here. That pose is available for you. You can hang out there the entire time and just listen to me talk. And if you're just in that pose and breathing, you're doing yoga. But if you'd like to continue with me, come to downward dog. Inhale, place your right foot forward, spin your left foot back, anchor through that back heel, lift away from the front thigh, bend your front knee towards 90 degrees. Warrior 1, back leg so engaged. I can feel my glutes squeezing. Not too hard, but you know, they're engaged. My left hip point is rotating forward. I'm squaring to the top of my mat. I'm smiling, life is good. I'm seeking something good, and that thing is seeking me. My whole heart is here. I'm showing up. And exhale. Hands on either side of the foot. Plank. Here we are. Belly button really lifting into the spine. Left foot steps forward. Spin the right foot now down so the heel of the right foot is really anchoring. Inhale up to Warrior 1 on the left. Squaring our hips as much as we can to the front of the mat. The right hip point now reaching forward. The left hip point rotating back. Our ribs squaring to the front of our mat. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the lunge. Remembering what it felt like to be aligned with the wall, to be pressing our heel into the wall. So we feel our back leg completely engaged. We're smiling, we're breathing. We're connecting to the earth beneath our feet. It's there, it's supporting us, it's holding us up. we have a good relationship with the earth and our breath and our spine. It's growing long. Our crown is reaching. And there we go. Exhale, hands come down either side. Rest back, knees wide, child's pose. You did it. Nice work, guys. Close your eyes and just breathe here. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Feel your heartbeat. How does your body feel right now? Do you feel the aliveness kind of kicking? Feels good, right? And this is just the beginning. It's all good stuff, and I'm happy to be here with you. Before we go, I'm going to read our scripture one more time, and you just receive it. Just stay right where you're at. The Lord says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." So that's my prayer for you guys, that you would just be brave and courageous and show up to your mat, show up in your life, show up to all things with your whole heart. And may you know that the thing that you're seeking is truly seeking you. Grace and peace, friends, and we'll see you back here soon.